or not. Refresh, refresh. Refresh, refresh. There we are, there we are. We are definitely live and streaming now. Welcome to the live stream. This is your friend the Climb 21. Today's going to be a pretty quick review. We don't have a lot to go over. However, we will start with Sundial $2 call. We still own Sundial. Ooh, slow spinning. Sundial has been up to 204 and ended at 201. We're probably going to need it to crest beyond 206 for the person we sold the option to, the call option to activate and pick it up. If they don't, we're just going to sell at $2 or 201 or whatever at the start of next week. So either we're holding and it expires and then we will just sell. We won't do another options. We'll just sell. Yeah, we could do another options because then we could just sell on the 25th. Or it is enacted upon and they get the shares and I get the money. Yeah, see, I got the money. One of the two. Yeah, now that I'm realizing that I could just do the same thing again and then sell the shares on the 25th. I guess that gives me an interesting decision. That said, however, I'd rather have the money in the pocket. Yeah, I shouldn't be contemplating this on video. I should have already thought this through more completely. The plan was go ahead and if we get the action triggered, then cool. We now have the money and they now have the shares. We've already collected the premiums. And then with that, we would just freshly roll in and buy our YBTC stock on the 18th and start holding it. It would be one less week of options, but we would be ready and set here on the 25th to already have the YBTC in hand for the 29th dividends. But now that I'm looking, really doesn't matter. I can pick up another option here on the 18th either way, whether it's selling a call or selling a put, depending on what happens here, and then just sell the stocks on the 25th. Don't do an option. So we'll have to get closer to the date to see, but that's where we are right now. We have flirted with the price on Sundial that is close to getting us called, but it didn't get us called. And if we don't get called, we still have options. All right, now let's take a look here. We are up $4.85 on the day, but we're down at $13.12. Weren't we at like $13.20? Yes, but that's from the beginning of the day. You see, this is called pre-market. This is day. So at the beginning of the day, we were actually down $11.96 from the pre-market, putting us under 1,300. So all this represents, and it's why I don't really love the breakdown, is what has happened since here. No, since, yeah, here. Well, what has happened since the end of here? We were up as high as 1343. Oh my goodness! So that's pretty awesome. We'd like to get back up there. All right, so now we're taking a look at the overall account and how for on the day we've done good, but we actually lost some ground from the big pre-market drop after some really huge gains on the overnight. But overall, what is important to remember is that we have put in $1,220 of our personal money, and we're at $1,312. So 190 gains still, even after the dip. So we're good, we like it. Now to go over the individual stocks, I'm going to try to streamline this and do this better than I have been. Average cost, $12.40. Cost now, holy what? $19.39. And on the overnight, it had hit $21.50. My Lord. Now this is per share. We put $100 in, so this 100 is worth $156.37 now. That is big. That is crazy. That's kind of insane. Let's take a look at OT 1001. It's come down a little bit. It was over right at 11. Yeah, it's right at 11. It's been, oh man, that guy was going crazy with it. Up and down, up and down. But it's been kind of consistent. We're still up at 1077 or 1071 overall. That's a healthy 70 per share on almost 10 shares. We like that. So 100 has brought us 106.99. And go back to Misty. Now, the story on Misty was we put 100 in. It cratered instantly. We put another 100 in, which was too much. We overinvested this month. We're at like, we're living off ramen, guys. That's where we're at. But we saw the drop in Misty, and we said, hey, let me buy all the whole shares I can on the overnight with this $100, and the leftover that didn't buy a whole share will buy first thing Monday morning. So this is a $200 investment now, not a $100 investment. We brought the average cost down, the cost basis, or the average cost per share down. Cost basis is total dollars put in. Our cost basis is 200. Our average per share is 28.46. I gotta start using these terms right, especially if y'all gonna learn anything proper from me. We got about 7 shares. So the fact that we're from $28 to $36 is $8.49 there. That's pretty powerful. So the 200 has turned into 259. Very nice. YMAX, we bought at 1708. It is at 1811. A full dollar plus 3 pennies per share. That's good. We turned that 100 into 106.80. Up, up, up. We like up. XDTE, 51.51, only 53.60. It's not the biggest gain, and it is the most expensive one in my portfolio, but it's still up. We're up. Well, this has 407. Did this already receive? This is XCTE. Oh, yeah, because XCTE has received a dividend, and the dividend bought back in. So the number's not going to match up exactly. We put in $100. We're up 104.49. The difference between 407 and 449 is going to be more than likely the dividend. Maxi, excuse me, 23.62, a whopping 29.93. That's a huge $6.31 per share over 4 shares. We're talking 126.71 on $100. Very nice. We like it. QDTE 41.52 is at 43.61. Only 2.5 shares. 105.70 right here on $100. It's not a lot, but it is up, and we like up. YBTC. Now this one's the roller coaster. This one we had $200 worth of. It paid us an unusually low for YBTC payout. We said, hey, let's go ahead and grab $200 out of this. We didn't grab 200. We sold the entire thing because I was being dumb. I didn't want it to come back and be like, here's your $199.99. And then I had to sell again, right? So we sold it all. We sold it at a profit, at like a $7 profit. We took the 200 to buy the sundial to start the wheels options, which has brought us $11 so far. That was a losing bet because if we'd have just kept the 4.5 shares, the per share gain on 4.5 of $5 would be like, 20 something dollars. So we produced 11, but the difference is that would be unrealized gains. Okay. The premiums are realized. And then we put the premiums right back into YBTC because until it's paid back its $200 loan out, everything coming from Sundial goes right back into YBTC. Now, here's where the calendar play comes in. That was the original plan. Now the plan is we're going to sell the YBTC or get the call option executed either on the 18th. Either on the 15th or the 22nd if we run another one here. regardless, if I'm holding shares on the 25th, we're just going to sell the shares on the 25th. All right, take what we got, move on. We're going to put that money right back into YBTC, all right here. So it's going to be all the premiums plus the sell value going into YBTC. And it's actually going to have more shares this month than it did last month to collect that premium on the 29th. Okay, boom. So I went over that at the right spot. Nice. But 45, 96, 50, 85, 20 of 37. I'm not even going to do the math on what we've put in just because it's changed so much. RDTE, slightly special. 43.05 or up to 45.55. That's a clean $2.50 per 2.8 shares. We're at 129. Hey, 129. So 29. No. Pump the brakes. We put 120 into this stock. We're not up 29. We're up 909. Now that's still good. I just want to be transparent and let people know this one didn't get 100 stack. This one started at 20. Then it got 100 put on top of it. And I know that almost all of my stocks, are $100 increments for investments. This is the one that's not. I just don't want to be like not transparent or something. I don't want y'all thinking we're up 29.09. We're up 9.09 on 120. All right. And then Sundial. It matters less what this one is up and down because we're always buying and selling at 2 for these options. We have collected a $5 option or premium when we sold the put. We collected a $6 option currently when we sold the call. We would like this to get bought and get the 200 back in. The sooner that happens, the sooner we could spin another option. Or, as stated, I don't have to play it all the way to the end. We could just collect the 200, say good job on the 11 in premiums, and buy back into YBTC sooner than later. But if it happens that I'm called before Friday, we could squeeze out one more options play this week. We want as many option plays as we can get, which means I probably should be running an option play next week, regardless of what happens here. And then if we're near $2, I can get out by just selling the shares if I'm stuck holding shares for $2 when we get to the 25th, because we do want to make sure that we've converted all of this money into YBTC by the 25th. That's the play. That's the idea. Excuse me. My voice still. Woohoo! All right. But that's it. That's an overview of all the ups and downs in the account today. And fortunately, almost everything is up across the board, although a big dip from the overnight. All right. And we are in the after hours now. We'll see at the overnight. It's been very steady after hours. This is the first night since election night that the after hours is steady and not like a rocket shot. We'll see how the overnight does for us. And then there's the pre-market, and the pre-market hurt us today, but I'm not going to be upset because we leveled back above pre-market numbers on the day, and we're still up. We're up. Yeah, we're not up 1340, but we're still up 1312. So I'm super good. I'm very good. The final reminder, the reason we're so worried about our stock, our portfolio valuation is the 29th, because the first falls on a Sunday, is going to be my payday. That means it's going to be my deposit day. We would like to hit 2,000 value so that we can open up margin sooner rather than later. The more money the account accrues between now and dividend day, the less money I have to deposit. Not dividend day, deposit day. The less I have to deposit to invest to reach our goal. I put in a whopping $900 this month, which is insanity on a $1,900 budget. Okay, I overinvested this month. Even the 800 was pretty steep, but the 800 wasn't bad. The extra 100 I threw to catch the Misty hurt a little. Like I felt that. I got I could have bounced off the first 800 no problem. There was that extra 100 I oomphed in that really got me super tight on the expenses this month. And since we're over here trying to show you how to be ballers on a budget and all that low income investing stuff, remember, I live with a roommate, okay? And I have made sure that my bills are super low now. All right, I have a $600 rent. I don't have a car payment anymore, which does also mean that I don't have a car. But fortunately, I'm in an industry where I'm working towards a work from home job. And being prior military, we're closing in on getting back into online schooling. And Uncle Sam will pay for that and then give me some money on top of that to go to school online. Not as much as they give you to go to school in person, but I think the cost savings, not having to worry about gas or public transportation and not having that transportation time is well worth it. So by January, I could both be a student again and employed in an internship, paid internship. And that would be like wildly great for me. But the big thing is that like I don't need the vehicle, so I don't pay costs for a car, right? My rent is super low comparative to most people because I'm rooming with a friend. So I've got fallbacks. I'm okay if I live this tight. You might not be okay if you live this tight. Don't exceed what you're willing to be comfortable with on your investments. Remember, we're not here to YOLO dollars into the sun. I understand that all 9, not counting Sundial, which is on an options play, all 9 of my primary stocks here are high risk, high yield stocks. We understand that. We're not YOLOing this. We will convert as we build up and get the engine set up into stabilizers. All right. This account is going to transform over time. And that is what I would do as any low income investor, because we can only put in so much a month. We need early returns on our money to help increase our buying power. And that requires a little more risk. But you don't just go in and be like, yo, I'm going to buy Coney until I die. Yay. No, let's have a plan, okay? We're not just YOLOing to zero. Let's not do that. So anyways, now I've been on a little longer, but I felt it necessary because I did overspend myself, and I want to practice what I preach, but I also want to show when there are exceptions. If you happen to live with a roommate or maybe parents or whatever the situation, and you happen to be able to get away currently with not having a car and saving that money that is a car payment, a really good place for what would have been that car payment is a portfolio bringing you income. Yes, that would be really intelligent. Not everybody is that fortunate. Not everybody is in that position to be able to have that trade-off. A lot of people must have their car, therefore they must have their car payment, therefore they don't have that extra money to invest. So, just understand your situation, understand what you are comfortable investing. And I'm over here like talking about the ramen. Look, man, this overspend this month, this overinvest this month, I'm feeling it. And I'm good. I'm in a good spot and I'm feeling it. I went just a little too far, guys. But that's a big part of why my account is up what it's up. Because Misty, let's go back, $200 into Misty, and it's produced me $59.63. And that's helping me get so much closer to 2,000. So a little pain now for some delayed gratification on the 29th, when hopefully I'm not having to put $700, $800, $900 in, when I can put $500 or $600 in, and we'd be at 2,000. Okay, so just keep your position in mind when you're thinking about the relationship between your potential portfolio and what I'm doing with my portfolio, and your potential investing number and my investing number. These probably are not going to be the same thing, because we're probably, even though I'm a broke poverty boy, probably not in the exact same situation, because I may not have costs that you have. Okay, so just be smart. Try to take emotion out of it. I know some people watch these channels and they're like, I want to do what they're doing with their account, and then dude told you that he was like low income and now suddenly he's putting in money that you just don't have and you're like, well, where did that come from? But now you're struggling and trying to keep up with them. He probably wasn't as low income. Like, my income is what my income is, but I don't have the same cost. These other guys maybe have a sponsorship or something. They're getting ad revenue in. So now they're making a little more money and they're just not ready to report that yet because it's not consistent yet. They can't count on that, but it's there. And then so they turn their ad rev into more investing. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But if you thought they were working on X a month and now they are spending X plus a month and all you have is X, you don't have that plus, right? And you might feel this fear of missing out or like, no, I need to keep putting in what he's putting in. That's the plan. Well, if he's changed his plan, you might not be able to upgrade to that change plan. Okay. So just within your means, within your limits, we try to invest to produce growth and betterment in our lives in the future, not to wreck ourselves. Okay. Let's check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. So just saying, you hear me talk about my overinvestment this month. That is true. You hear my plan on $500 a month and how I'm ahead of schedule currently because we're trying to break neck to 2,000 as quickly as possible. That is true. You may not be in a position to break neck to 2,000. Slow and steady. It's fine. You may have put in $800 like I did last month, and then I put in another 100, and you're like, damn it, I don't have another 100 to put. Don't. I was in a position where I could take that extra risk, and being deployed twice and I've lived poor most of my life, I can handle the discomfort of not having money during the month as long as my bills are paid, right? I can live that life. I've done it many times, many places. It's not fun, right? I still complain about it, but this was my decision. I overinvested. I've been completely transparent. I know I overinvested. I told y'all when I did it, I was overinvesting. All right. I'm a big boy. I made a big boy decision. And it seems in the short term so far that it is going to pay off for me. And it's going to save me money on the December deposit. Doesn't make November any less rough. So just understand your realities, understand your situation. I'm not here to like try to get y'all to YOLO on high dividend yields and stuff, or to throw all of your money into investing. I'm here to try to show people that even at low income, we can get involved in these mechanisms that create wealth and hopefully generational wealth. And along the way, we can learn the things that people with generational wealth have learned. Because it's not just stock accounts, it's things like understanding margin and leverage and how that works. It's understanding that we need to put X amount of our income aside for things that aren't bills, for things that we can build upon. Assets and assets management, okay? There's a lot to this. What I'm doing is just scratching the surface that hopefully can open a whole new world to a lot of people so that they can learn this and so that they can teach this to the people that they love and care about and want better for. You don't have to be rich to get started on building wealth. It sure does help. Oh, it's so much easier. There are so many advantages. Like we're a month away from me showing you guys what having just $2,000 allows you to do that people without $2,000 can't do. We're about to have Robinhood give us a 0% interest loan on $1,000, and if we wanted, they would loan us $2,000, and they would charge us interest on that second $1,000. If we wanted, we're going to play it safe and just mess with the non-interest money. All right, we're just going to mess with that first 1K. And so, what does that mean? That means that we are getting capital gains and dividends and distributions off someone else's $1,000, not our $1,000. We're putting someone else's money to work for us, and that's how rich people get richer. Now, this is obviously super small scale. We're way down at the end of the totem pole, but most people didn't understand that you could do that for just $2,000. Obviously, it's more effective 10,000, 100,000, a million, obviously. But that $1,000 zero interest loan is going to get me so far ahead in my stocks that is crazy. It's because the amount of time that it saves to bring those dividends forward and to bring those gains forward. Because remember, we seem to be moving into a bull market where prices go up. You would rather buy more today than buy the same amount over time, because your cost basis will be lower buying today if the trend is that the market keeps going up. That's a lot of savings. And I'd rather get all the dividends the next dividend window than buying over 3 different windows, 4 different windows, and having those spread out more because of the compounding. Anytime that you're working with compounding, you want more upfront to start the compounding immediately. All right? So we got to start thinking about wealth. We got to start thinking about creating wealth. We got to start thinking about generational wealth. And we got to start thinking about how the rich leverage and use these mechanisms that aren't available to people in low income. We have to understand what those mechanisms are, and then we have to understand which ones are the easiest mechanisms for us to reach. And for me, $2,000 in a Robinhood account so that I can leverage with margin is the easiest mechanism to reach. And we are struggle busting, and we are putting it all in as fast as we can to reach that mechanism, to get that started sooner rather than later. But understand, you don't have to break your neck to get to the mechanism. It's there at 2,000. If it takes you 4 months to get there, if it takes you 6 months to get there, fine. That's perfectly fine. Know it exists, make it a goal, get there. Don't have to crush yourself like I did this month to do it. And again, while I do complain about it in the I'm going to be stuck eating ramen, I'm not going to be able to order pizza or anything kind of way, I'm looking at what that 100 bought me, which was half of that Misty sitting there, and I look at how much it's gone up since I bought in. I'm happy. I am happy. It is working. It did what it was intended to do. We are winning on that play. And over time, next month, I'm going to be in next month, right? Next month, I'm not going to be eating ramen. I'm not going to care that I ate ramen all this month. So just, what is it? It's the grasshopper. And the grasshopper was like, yo, I'm going to play my fiddle or whatever. And then winter came and he hadn't gathered any of his food and stuff. So he starved to death, right? I'm just being proactive and pushing forward. Because sometimes we tend to wait too late to take action. I kind of did the other extreme. I went a little too hard, too fast. But I didn't go so hard that that it collapsed me. Okay, I still stayed within reason. I just sent it to the line, but I didn't go over the line. So the point being, you can be too slow and you can do too little. You can also be too fast, too early, and you can do too much. All right, let's try to moderate. And when we take these risks, let's understand why we're taking the risk. Let's understand the very specific scenario. For me, it was the Misty dip and the potential gains off that, which we're seeing. We're realizing that the play worked. The play could have went very bad. Misty could have kept going down. All right. And then my account wouldn't be at 1310. My account might be under the 1120 I put in if Misty kept going down. It's possible, right? So we got fortunate. Our play paid off. And in no way am I some fortune teller that absolutely knew that Trump would win the election and that the last time he won, the stock markets went crazy and shot up into a bull run. All right, I knew last time Trump got elected that the stock market jumped up into a bull run, but when I bought Misty, I didn't even take the election, idiot that I am, into consideration. Because who knew who was going to win? I didn't know who was going to win. I just saw Misty went down while all the other stocks really didn't, and there was an opportunity. And I saw that I did have like $110 left in the account, so I YOLO'd $100 in to buy Misty immediately before it could go back up. So we did good. We did good. The whole point is understand your risk. My risk and your risk, not the same risk. Do not carbon copy me or anybody you see on YouTube. We're not professionals. We're not even allowed to give you like literal financial advice. We can give general financial advice. Hey, probably good to invest. Hey, probably good to put some money in your savings account. I only got like $50 in my savings account, y'all. Do better than me, please. Please do better than me. But the point is, like, we can't tell you things like, oh, well, Misty is going to go up 10.5% over the next. We don't know that. No one knows that. Don't listen to YouTubers that fucking lie to you and then make money off you, off ad revenue and subscriptions and all this other stuff to lie to you. There are plenty of good ones out there. Plenty of good ones. And in fact, I'm going to extend my show. God damn, I was only going to go over the review. Sorry, guys, I'm going on a tangent. I think what I'm going to do to add to this is we're going to look at other influencers in specifically the stock space, guys that I have learned from, people that I may trust, and we're going to see what they do and how they do it. I'm going to point out any red flags that I do see. We may even point out guys that I don't trust so much and that I think are maybe bad, but like I really don't want to get into like a shit slinging contest on YouTube. But there's so much information out here, and a lot of what I learned in Iraq through Google searches, my 2 tours in Iraq, and then back here in a lot of YouTube videos, honestly. Learned a lot. There are a lot of good communities on YouTube that are here and that will help you. But there are also some very predatory ones that will take you for everything you'll give them. And that's not building up. That's not creating wealth for you and your family in your future. But we're here to try to be better. I have a motto, and I'm going to find a way to start incorporating that. But it's a self-made motto. I didn't read it anywhere. I'm sure somebody has uttered the words elsewhere before. And to be honest, I don't always live by my own motto, my own creed. I don't do it the justice it deserves. But man, it's a banger. I think it sounds good. And it is today my best, tomorrow better. And it just means like try your best every day, but learn and grow. Because then tomorrow your best will be even more. We grow, we enhance, right? We level up. All the terms the kids use. So today, my best, tomorrow better. And if we look at it as a group, today our best, tomorrow better. One simple word changed in there, and it brings it from the self-reflection of self, which is important, to the group, which is also important. And I think this is very interchangeable and can be used for both individual development and group betterment. And that's what we're here for. We're here hopefully to watch my life get better. But hey, if you're going to be here watching it, why not your life get better too? And maybe we can help each other in that regard. All right, guys, that's it. I went super long. God damn, did I hit 30 minutes? This is supposed to be like a 5-10 minute recap. Anyways, it's been real. It's been fun. It's even been real fun. This is the Climb to One, the absolute worst YouTuber who never knows if he's actually online or not, signing off. And now we're going to ramble a little bit because every time I hit this, it seems to backtrack 10 seconds, cut off, and